Hello, all my friends. I hope you're having an outstanding, fabulous day. Thank you all for watching. And if you have not, please smash the subscribe, click on the like, click on the bell, tell your friends, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe. It's free. It can be anonymous if you want it to be, and you're not being tracked. All right, today, e-bike topic. I've been watching on YouTube, different channels, about some kind of crazy legislation happening in different states throughout the United States. New Jersey has some crazy legislation that like 3 of my YouTube channels that I watch were talking about it. Well, I'm here to tell you, hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Maryland. I'm going to tell you about Maryland. And Maryland is not like New Jersey or these other states. Maryland, for the 2024 legislative session, who knows whether they're going to pass, because some of them didn't pass last year. But this is what's on the plate in the Maryland legislature. All right, first, this is a pretty good one. No sales tax. No sales tax on electric bike, electric scooters. No sales tax. That would have saved me a couple pennies on all my bikes that I bought. But remember, in Maryland, electric bicycle is defined as something operated by human power with the assistance of a motor, has pedals, 2 or 3 wheels, and most importantly, or pretty important, the motor has to be 750 watts or less. So I'm not really sure how they're going to determine that if this passes, because when you order it online, Maryland has nothing to do with the sales tax, so I'm not really sure how that would play out. But anyway, it's basically reiterating what the definition of a bicycle is in Maryland. In addition, it has to be either a class 1, class 2, or class 3, along with those other criteria. So not sure how it would be implemented, but the most important takeaway from this is the Maryland legislature is creating positive legislation for electric bikes. And so the odds are that you're not going to have crazy restrictions on electric bikes. You're going to have more pro-electric bike legislation. And there's some other things that I'm not going to go into detail in this video that I read about, but also in upcoming legislation is that there's going to be a study, and they're trying to push forward that when there are major renovations on roadways and bridges and underpasses and everything, where it's feasible and practicable to create bike lanes, bike pathways. All right, the next thing is, I found these really interesting because some of my other YouTuber friends have talked about in their states, out in Oregon and other places, where you can do this. And that is, no need to stop at stop signs. They're trying to pass legislation so that basically, as a bicyclist, electric bicyclist, you need only yield. So when you come to a stop sign, you need only make sure that there's no cars, that it's safe, and you can proceed through. I actually just made a video and edited it. It's going to be posted tomorrow, Sunday, in the e-bikes for riders over 50 group, talking about how I ride through intersections now that have stop signs, if I see that it's clear, because it's just safer and easier to do as an older rider on a bicycle. So in Maryland, the legislature is trying to turn stop signs into yield, like several other states already do in the United States. All right, the next one my friend Gary of Gary's E-Bike Adventures up in New Hampshire, the live free, live die state, or whatever their motto is. Sidewalk riding. In Maryland, local jurisdictions may pass ordinances to allow sidewalk riding, but in general, there is no sidewalk riding allowed. Well, this new legislation is going to switch the equation. It is going to allow sidewalk riding unless a local jurisdiction prohibits it. And one of the reasons for this sidewalk and also the stop sign, believe it or not, is bicycle safety. So with the sidewalk legislation, the legislation says that bicyclists have to yield to pedestrians. Well, that's only common sense and that's only common courtesy. So no problems there. The whole purpose is to try to make it safer for bicyclists, e-bicyclists, to avoid traffic and to avoid getting hit. Because believe it or not, a few years ago, there was legislation passed because of a death of a bicyclist. And in that legislation, there's literally sections of it that say it's against the law to open your door to intentionally hit a bicyclist. It's against the law to throw something at a bicyclist. So it just kind of blows your mind that the Maryland legislature felt the need and did put that in the statutes, kind of like common sense, like, hey, you're not supposed to throw stuff and you're not supposed to open the door. It would already, you would think, come under assault, battery, but there's actually bicycle legislation discussing that. And then the last thing that I think is a big item for 2024 Maryland legislative session, bike rebates. And not just rebates for the bikes, other kind of rebates. And so, like many other states, and I think like the legislation they were trying to pass in Congress, there are requirements. So in Maryland, this legislation must be at least age 18. You must be a Maryland resident, and then you have to be below a certain income level. So it's to help those who are not necessarily indigent, but not as well off financially as many. You can only get one rebate, and the schedule is $2,000 rebate for an electric bike, and it's a rebate or a voucher. You know, so it's either you're going to get your money back or they're going to give you a voucher so you can buy a bike. $300 for a replacement battery. $250 for components to make an electric bicycle usable by an individual with a disability, which I've never heard of that before, which is pretty good. $250 for a bicycle lock, which you'll be able to buy a really great bicycle lock for that. And $250 for routine maintenance. So some pretty innovative things that I read about in the legislation that I have not heard about in the congressional proposed legislation or any other states. So in Maryland, unlike New Jersey, who are being meanies, the Maryland legislature is actually trying to pass, or some of those legislators are trying to push forward and trying to get past pro-bicyclist, pro-e-bicyclist legislation. And why is that? Because e-biking is more popular now than ever. Not just because it's green and to reduce carbon footprint, but because there is widespread acknowledgement that it is good for people, and more people are doing it, and there is a measurable number of people doing it who are helping go green, helping the environment. So Maryland is actually pro e-bicyclists. They see the benefits of it. They see the benefits of it helping people. And unlike some other states who are going the opposite way, which is kind of bizarre. So anyway, I hope, especially my Maryland friends and my friends who are in adjoining states, because, you know, sometimes legislation rubs off, so to speak. So I hope you all got something out of it. I hope you found it enjoyable. I hope you said, wow, that's pretty cool. And if you have not, please smash the subscribe. Click on the like, click on the bell, tell your friends. Thank you all. I love you. See ya!